Hey everybody, welcome to ABA Inside Track's June preview episode. I'm your host for this episode, Robert Perry Cruz, with my fabulous co-host who lives with me, so is able to stay as close as she would like.
So close, it's Diana.
And of course, our final co-host, who we were so happy to have her come, but we needed to keep her away from us, so she is over there. Who's that?
Hi, it's Jackie inside a play equipment.
Yes, and Jackie will remain there for the rest of the day until we have safely gone inside, and then she can leave if she chooses, but she has to crawl out. We don't know if she's going to make it or
I
not.
might not make it out of here alive.
So you might think that this is a show that advertises a podcast. It's about playground equipment or how to trap your friends, but it is, in fact, a show about behavior analysis and behavior analytic research. And this is our preview episode for the month of June 2020, where we're going to be talking about what's going to be coming up in terms of our episodes, so you have a chance to peruse the research before our full-length episodes where we discuss various topics in the field. We have 3 topics coming up this month that we're very excited about. You can see I've got piles of materials here to discuss with you, and then we'll also share some emails and kind of goings on and information. So yeah, I guess that's what we'll be doing this episode. So why don't we start off by first seeing how everyone's been doing. So Jackie, how have you been? We haven't seen you in person in some time now.
It's been about 2.5 months since you've seen me in person.
Is this how you imagined our first re-meeting would go?
No. I imagined there would be long inappropriate hugging, but that is not the case.
No.
Now there is long distance in a play equipment, which is almost the same.
Well, it's good. You know, you want to be able to. It's a nice visual. You want to have a visual cue for your social
Right.
distancing. Right? They were doing it at Disney World. They got to put the tape where you can line up and
Yep.
everything. Yeah, that's the plan at least.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have you back for some real life recording though, and we get to be outside for the start of the summer season.
Woo woo!
What do you think about the summer coming up, Diana? Any plans?
No plans, Rob. Thanks for asking.
Well, I have one plan that we're going to be doing, which is podcast recording plan. So why don't we talk about what's coming up this month on the show? So we have 3 topics we'll be doing this month. I'm going to talk about the first 2, and then Diana, you were really kind of instrumental. Well, everyone always is instrumental in all our decisions. We're a well-oiled team, but why don't you'll talk about the third one. So our first 2 are going to be just super fun episodes on topics that we've never done in the past, or their advancements of old topics. The first is going to be staff turnover. And we have a very special guest joining us on that show, Dr. Bryon Wine, who heard about our show because he heard that we sang a song about him while reading one of his other articles, which just goes to show having a good time when talking about behavior analytic research is a road to further success with your special podcast or career. So I just want everyone, if you're just about to get your BCBA, start learning some songs and some show tunes too. It's very important. So Dr. Wine had a few articles he recommended and that we'll be talking about. The first is an examination of reward probability and delivery delays on employee performance, and that is by Dr. Wine, Chen, and Brewer, and that's in the Journal of Organizational Behavior Management. I believe that was 2019. We also have the effects of engaging in rapport building, behaviors on productivity and discretionary effort by Curry, Gravina, Sleeman, and Richard, also from the Journal of Organizational Behavior Management, and that was also in 2019. And then finally, Dr. Wine has a third article co-written by him, Osborne, and Newcomb from Behavior Analysis and Practice titled On Turnover in Human Services, and that's from 2020. Published online 2020, I believe. So that'll be our first topic. Our second topic, everyone gets to see how I manhandle the research articles while reading them now. Usually it's hidden under a table or something. All right, so our second topic is going to be one that, Diana, you'd recommended, and we're all very excited to talk about, that we're going to be talking about early indicators of autism spectrum disorder. So in children younger than 2 years old, and sometimes even younger than 1 year old. So we'll be talking about a few articles there. There's Intensive Behavioral Treatment for Children with Autism, 4-Year Outcome and Predictors by Sallows and Gropner from the American Journal on Mental Retardation, 2005. There's Attention to Eyes is Present, but in Decline in 2 to 6 months olds, later diagnosed with autism, by Jones and Klin from Nature, 2013. Nature! You know it's a good journal. It's only got 1 word in the title. And then Early Recognition of Children with Autism, a study of first birthday home videotapes by Osterling and Dawson. from the Journal of Autism and Developmental Disorders, 1994. And Dinah, there was one other article that you wanted to add in. So it was the last minute.
Yep, it's a Zwigenbaum. It's Zwigenbaum et al. 2004, I believe, looking at infant sibling research.
Oh,
I don't
good.
have the precise title.
We'll have the citation somewhere. It'll appear somewhere in the video. I'm forgetting that we have one microphone that we're trying to share here. Sorry if the audio quality is not so great. We are outside. All right. So those are going to be our first two topics, and then for our third, and I wrote some notes for you if you can read.
No.
I can read the articles. Do you want me to read the articles?
You want me to read your handwriting?
You can try.
I had no idea that this was going to be the physical challenge of this preview episode. Oh, dear God.
So glad it's not me.
All right, I will do my best here. So for our last episode of June, we're very excited to have Adrienne Bradley and Kat Jackson of the Black Applied Behavior Analysts group come on to talk to us about diversity and inclusion in the field. And we have some background articles that we're going to use to support that conversation. Here we go. The first one might be titled Cultural Humility, the Cornerstone of Positive Contact with Culturally Different Individuals and Groups by Hook and Watkins, American Psychologist 2015.
It's pretty good so far.
Thank
Woo
you.
woo!
The next one it might be titled Exploring Organizational Barriers to Diversity by Rangarajan and Black in Review of Public Personal Administration 2007. And then the final article could be titled Guidance or Compliance, What Makes an Ethical Behavior Analyst? That's from Behavior Analysis and Practice 2019 by Rosenberg and Schwartz.
I love
How
that
did I do?
article.
I think you did pretty good.
Who can? We'll never know. So
This-
Why I use technology most of the time to do our recordings, because my handwriting is abysmal.
that it is.
I have an occupational therapist tell me my handwriting is abysmal, and I probably would need services, but I am much too old to receive them.
He doesn't qualify.
No. All right, thanks. Thank you, Diana. We're very excited to have all of our guests coming on the show. I think we have a lot of guests coming up this summer. I guess
We
when you don't
do.
have a summer vacation, anywhere to go for summer vacation, you go on people's podcasts. How nice. All right. Well, I guess, Jackie, I don't want to leave you out, so why don't you bring us into the errata segment of the show where we
Sure.
talk about either goings-on, of which, there are a lot of online conferences, coming up this summer and workshops. That's always fun because we all want to stare at our computers more, I suppose. And we also get a lot of either, Facebook messages or emails from folks that sometimes we like to share on these previews. So, Jackie, over to you.
Great. All right, Rob. I'm reporting live from Playground Equipment in Somewhere Land Somewhere. And here I have some things to talk about.
I like to call that thing the Jungle Dome.
Oh, Jungle Dome. I'm reporting live from the Jungle Dome. And we had a listener whose name is Steven. And he's a student of behavior analysis working with children with a diagnosis of ASD in a small clinic in Madison, Wisconsin. One of his supervisors actually recommended this podcast for him. And
Thank you.
Thank you, supervisor. In one of our episodes, we talked about graphing effectively and correctly. And so he was wondering which episodes those could be. And it could possibly be our visual inspection episode, which is 113. That one's a really great episode. And also we talked about, I personally love that episode. And we also talked about graphing using Excel when we talked about the Vanslow article, Beret and Vanslow in 2012. You can actually find that linked on the ABAI website if you want to go find that. So those are the two places where you might want to go look, listeners and listener Steven, when we talk about graphing. And we love graphing, so everyone should love graphing too. And then another listener wrote into us and was disappointed. So I'm just going to bring this out. She was very disappointed because she was listening to episode 60 And she was disappointed during Dissemination Station, during our grab bag episode, that we did not sing Do Re Mi from The Sound of Music with the line, "Now you know the notes to sing, you can sing most anything,"
Aw.
when talking about the piano playing article. And so, Wendy, I'm sorry.
We're all sorry. It's really tough to miss an opportunity to sing, and I can't believe that we would ever miss one. So I don't know. Maybe hopefully we'll be able to make it up to you someday. I hope so.
I hope so too, Wendy. So I'm very sorry. I love that you're from Canada, and thank you for bringing up the references of Anne of Green Gable, because that is my favorite show. So thanks for writing in, Wendy, and letting us know about your displeasure. Hopefully we can make this up to you somehow. And finally, I wanted to again bring up that everyone has been in love with our podcast about telehealth in Italy. So that one, remember, is free if you want to listen to it. And listener Diane said, "Thank you so much for sharing this information with me. And thanks very much." So yeah, so thanks. It was a really great episode. So check it out.
Yes.
And real thanks goes to Dr. Francesca D'Espinosa for allowing us to contact her and beyond to tell us everything she was up to.
Yes. It was it's a lot of. I guess fun is not the right word. We're talking about something so serious, but in terms of very educational, it was very helpful to hear, on the ground first impressions of that work. So very exciting, and we say big thanks to Dr. Espinosa, and big thanks also to folks who have enjoyed the episode. We hope you found a lot in there. And if you had not heard, then please feel free to check out the ABA Inside Track website. We have CEs always available for all of our full-length episodes, but we also have a page now that's just for our free CEs. So those are ones we've done either at live conferences, but also recently ones related to telehealth. Jackie, the episode Jackie just mentioned with Dr. Espinosa about 119 119 about services during the pandemic. So those are all free right now. But again, if there are any other episodes you like to listen to and like to earn 1 learning credit per episode, well, why not check out our website, abainsidetrack.com. And I guess since that brings us to the end of the show, I should just keep going with our plugs, should I?
Do it, Rob. Do it.
Because the sun's coming out. I need to get back inside. I didn't put on any sunscreen before this taping. So if you like the show or are interested in learning more about the show, like I said, you can check out the website, abainsidetrack.com. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere you get your podcasts. Please subscribe to the show. Leave us reviews if you've listened and would like to share some feedback. You can certainly find us everywhere on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram as ABA Inside Track. These posts go up on YouTube as well with a YouTube subtitling feature. And, of course, you can email us at any time at abainsidetrack@gmail.com. Well, I'm looking forward to a fun summer of podcasts. I hope you are too. And I guess we'll be back next week with the first of these new June episodes. But until then, keep responding. Bye.